The rain fell in a steady gray drizzle, matching the rhythm of the tears Ava had long since stopped feeling. She sat on the window seat of her small apartment, a half-empty mug of tea cooling between her palms, watching the world blur and run together outside. It had been 3 weeks, 2 days, and approximately 7 hours since Leo had said the words that shattered her universe into a million irreparable pieces. It wasn't supposed to end like this. Their beginning had been the stuff of storybooks, a chance meeting at a crowded bookstore, their hands reaching for the same worn copy of Pride and Prejudice. He had laughed, a warm, rich sound that seemed to fill the entire fiction aisle. A classic, he'd said, his green eyes crinkling at the corners. But do you think Darcy was just misunderstood or genuinely a proud fool? Their debate over coffee lasted 3 hours, and by the end, Ava felt a flutter in her chest she hadn't known in years. Leo was a photographer, seeing beauty in cracked pavement and fading sunsets. Ava was a librarian, finding order and stories in quiet, dusty stacks. They were opposites that fit together perfectly. He brought spontaneity and light into her structured world. She offered him a calm harbor from his constant travel. For 2 years they built a life of inside jokes, shared silences, and plans that stretched into a hazy, golden future. He talked of a cottage by the sea, a place with big windows for his light and shelves for her books. She believed him. She believed in him. The cracks were subtle, almost invisible unless you were looking for them. A missed call here, a vague answer about his weekend there. The way he sometimes looked at her with a distant expression, as if calculating the distance between them. Ava, wrapped in the security of their love, dismissed it as stress, the creative temperament of an artist. She made excuses even to herself. The end came on a perfectly ordinary Tuesday. There was no dramatic fight, no raised voices. Leo had come over, his posture stiff, his usual easy smile absent. He didn't even sit down. "Ava," he began, his voice hollow, "I can't do this anymore." The words hung in the air, senseless and cruel. "Can't do what?" she wanted to scream. "Us? The future? The love you swore was real?" He spoke in clichés that cut deeper than any original insult could. "It's not you, it's me. I need to find myself. You deserve someone who can give you everything." Each phrase was a brick, walling her out of the life they'd built. The final blow was the gentlest, the most devastating. "I love you," he said, his eyes glistening with what she now wondered were merely tears of guilt, not loss. "But the spark, it's just gone." The spark! He reduced 2 years of deep, abiding connection to a mere spark that could flicker and die. He kissed her forehead, a ghost of a touch, and walked out the door, taking the future with him. The days that followed were a numb haze. Ava functioned on autopilot. She went to work, reshelved books, and answered questions, all while feeling like a ghost in her own life. The world had lost its color, muted to the gray of that incessant rain. Their songs played in every shop, their favorite restaurants seemed to lurk on every corner, and every memory, once so sweet, now tasted of ash. The heartbreak was a physical pain, a constant, heavy ache in her chest. It was the silence in her apartment that was once filled with his laughter. It was the empty side of the bed. It was the brutal rewriting of their history. Every "I love you" now suspect, every happy memory tainted by the question, was he already leaving me then? But as she sat by the window watching the rain begin to slow, a sliver of pale gold breaking through the clouds, something shifted. The pain was still there, a deep, resonant throb, but it was no longer all-consuming. For the first time she thought not about what she had lost, but about what she had survived. He broke her heart. He took the map of their future and tore it to pieces. But as the weak sunlight touched her face, Ava realized something crucial. The pieces were still in her hands. The love she had given was real, even if his had not been. Her capacity for it was still intact, bruised but not broken. She stood up, placing the cold mug in the sink. The story of Ava and Leo was over, its final chapter written in heartbreaking simplicity. But her own story was not. It was simply waiting for a new beginning. The heart he broke would mend, not to be given away carelessly again, but to beat stronger, wiser, and more fiercely for having survived the fracture. The rain stopped, and outside the world began to dry. Inside, Ava took her first shaky breath toward doing the same.